Wow. Another swift kick in the private areas. Courtesy of your New Jersey Devils and the men in stripes. Once again, the men in stripes felt the need to interject themselves in the game. And I guess it's really beyond the men in stripes. It's really the men in Toronto. The men in Toronto decided that Timo Meier's goal could not stand and that Stefan Noesen was guilty of goaltender interference. I mean, my God. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit the subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And this, with each loss, they just get more and more painful. This one, absolutely disgusting. Your New Jersey Devils riding a sweet little 2-game losing streak, heading into LA to play a very good Kings team. And they were right there. The game was there for the taking. Down 1-0. Timo Meier with a beautiful little spin move to just fire the puck in the net. I am going bonkers when they scored. I was very, very excited. And then you see, oh, wait, there's going to be a challenge. And I'm like, here we go again. And I immediately felt a knot in my stomach. And then they showed the replay. And I was like, yes, the Kings are idiots. Who would challenge this? Not only are we going to get the goal, we're going to go on the power play and hopefully take the lead. Oh, wait, hold on. Win or lose, we booze. Win or lose, we booze. We're going with Marty's vodka, Dirty Devil vodka, smooth as hell. The official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. Now available to order online, or you could try to find a store, liquor store near you that carries it. But you could order it and have it shipped right to your door. Dirty Devil vodka, Marty's vodka, smooth as hell. And I'm going to need them to send me a couple more cases. Cheers to my Devils fans. The drinking problem is fully underway. And wow. Yeah, so they show the replay. And I was like, wow, for them to challenge this, I thought was maniacal because obviously I thought it was a goal. First and foremost, and then, with the challenge, if they lose, they end up shorthanded. I was like, this was a crazy move by them. They challenge it, and after what seemed like an eternity, it had to be I don't know, in real time, maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Deliberation. They come back that it's waved off for goaltender interference. I mean, Noesen barely makes contact. He's just inside the blue paint. He is slightly nudged by a King beforehand. Barely makes contact. He comes back out, and then, the thing with the stick, that was all on Kemper. And, I mean, wow. At this point, this is shades of the late 90s where you couldn't have your foot in the blue crease at all. And if you did, it was immediately waved off. It seems like that's exactly where we're at now. Oh, and by the way, this is not a Happy New Year at all. So we take care of that. Happy New Year? Happy New Year, my ass. It was a terrible New Year's Eve, a terrible New Year's Day. And wow, to take that goal away in the fashion they did, there is no standard for what the goaltender interference rule is. They gave some BS explanation. They said, Noesen interfered with him, and that was the reason why it impeded his ability to make the play or whatever. Complete nonsense. Noesen was furious after the game. That was one of the last things that we saw in the MSG postgame there, was that Stefan Noesen was visibly aggravated, and he was like, I'm not even trying to, understand the rule anymore. He basically just venting his frustration about how bad, the officiating with the interpretation, the very loosey-goosey interpretation of all of these plays are. And I mean, if that's a goaltender interference, then I feel like there could be, you could start challenging tons of goals. I mean, if you breathe on a goalie, it's like, oh, you touched him. It was complete nonsense. And unfortunately, again, I hate to be that guy, but the officiating has been so bad. That clearly was the turning point of the game. I mean, if the Devils tie the game there, take all the wind out of the Kings' sails, have the momentum. You don't know how the game ends. But for that to get wiped off, and listen, I wish the team could have just, bit down and responded and said, screw it, let's just get another one. But easier said than done. And at the time of the game, it was very, very big swing play there. Amidst the 2-game losing streak, trailing on the road, looking to avoid losing 3 in a row, and it was just a gut punch. And unfortunately, they were not able to solve Kemper. Devils get shut out for the 6th time in the 41st game, officially on pace to be shut out 12 times in an 82-game schedule. Completely unfathomable stuff. I never thought we would see 6 shutouts, honestly, throughout the entire season, never mind at the halfway point. With the roster we have, completely inexcusable. And while I'm not panicking, there's peaks and valleys in seasons. You go through this kind of stuff. No, you can't win every game. Obviously, they played very well in December. And you're going to go through some pain points, but it really sucks to start this 3-game losing streak on a, kind of bullshit call when Timo Meier got that major for the hit on Natchez and the way that he completely dove to the ice and, bloody murder. And then come right back out. I mean, that's just making a mockery of the game. But that was the momentum swing of the game there. And now we lose another one where I'm not going to blame it entirely on the officials because there was tons of time to come back. But that is a massive, massive difference in the game, obviously. It changes the way the Kings play. The Devils would have had some momentum. It just changes the whole outlook of the game from there on. So terrible, terrible stuff. That goal gets waved off, and then in the third, Byfield comes out of the box after the Devils have some chances, and he gets one, a bad goal by Allen there. But Allen, again, a strong performance by Allen. He kept us in the game. And another great New Jersey Devils goaltending start wasted by the rest of the team. I mean, wow. Between Markey the last game and Allen tonight, the rest of the team owe these guys something. I don't know what, but they definitely owe them something because they were individually robbed of wins. Markey should have had the win last night, and Allen definitely should have had the win tonight. But Byfield gets that one when he comes out of the box, makes it 2-0, and then late with Keefe pulled the goalie super early, a little bit earlier than I would have liked, to be honest. I'm a fan of aggressive moves, but I think it was a little premature. But Kempe gets him on the empty net at 15:35 for the 3-0 win, and that's it. That's all she wrote. There was that double minor penalty. They had a couple shots in garbage time when we were down 3-0. Still couldn't get anything past Kemper. Game stats: Devils 33 shots on goal, Kings with 24. Devils destroying them in the faceoff circle, 62.5% to 37.5%. Devils 0 for 6 on the power play, and that is the next place you look, in my opinion, when you look at what cost us this game. You absolutely, under no circumstances, in a game like this, riding a 2-game losing streak, you absolutely cannot go 0 for 6 on the power play. Cannot. 1 for 6 on the power play would be god-awful, but that's at least 1 goal. 0 for 6, inexcusable. Don't know what's going on there. Again, they had their chances, but I'm tired of sitting here and saying the goalie came up big. Like, when you have the guys that we have that we could roll out on the power play, like, if you're not getting it done, then get the hell off the power play. Maybe we need to change up the power play lines a little bit. 0 for 6, completely just disgusting and not acceptable on any level whatsoever. Kings 0 for 3 on the power play. Devils with 23 hits. Kings with 15. Devils with 14 block shots. Kings with 20. Devils with 8 giveaways. Kings with 12 giveaways. Devils with 3 takeaways. Kings with 2 takeaways. And, yeah, I mean, listen, evenly contested game. Devils couldn't bury their chances, and the story of the game is pretty much inability to bury chances. I mean, wow, I'm furious. It's disheartening. A 3-game losing streak is terrible, and they got some real soul searching to do. Again, I'm nowhere near panic mode, but the reality is we're not that far from it either. And by panic mode, I mean, maybe a trade. I don't know that one guy, it'd be a bottom 6 guy. We don't have cap space really to do anything significant, and maybe a little shakeup in the bottom 6 is what's necessary, but I don't think that's going to solve anything overnight as well. I mean, these guys got to dig deep and look at what is going on, because 0 for 6 on the power play, I can tell you right now. I mean, Allen stood in there, man. Allen had a hell of a game. 22, I guess he had what, 20? Let me just pull it up here. because they had the empty net. Yeah, 21 saves on 23 shots. Very solid outing for Allen. Kept the boys in the game, and he deserved to win. And now his losing streak continues and is at 5. Devils on a 3-game losing streak. Shut out for the 6th time. I mean, which is, again, completely disgusting and unacceptable. But going 0 for 6 on the power play, ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. And, yeah, Kemper played good, but I'm just tired of everyone being like, oh, we got goalied. No, you didn't get goalied. You got your offensive stars couldn't get it done. You got offense. You got your own offense. Inability to generate goals, and that's what happens. And so now if I'm one of those bottom 6 guys, I'm nervous for not only my job, my position within the organization, because this is how shakeup trades happen. The shit can't continue on. Again, these things do happen, not the end of the world. 3-game losing streak really does suck. The team has high hopes, obviously have been playing very well in the season. And, the Kings are a very good team, as are the Carolina Hurricanes. And so 2 of the 3 losses are against very good teams in the league, if you're being honest with yourself about it. The Ducks absolutely suck, but Dostal is a very good goalie, and that is one where I would say he stole that game for the Ducks. So you had 2 good teams beat you with a shitty team goalie. That one I'll say Dostal goalied us in the middle, but it's partially goalied and partially just your offense being inept. I don't know what has gotten into these guys post-holiday break. Whatever happened during that holiday break, it was the worst possible thing that could happen to your New Jersey Devils, because the boys were on fire. Capping off, right before the holiday break with that smackdown of the Rangers. Then they had the holiday break, and then they come out of it. Disastrous. Luckily, they won the first one out of the break against the Hurricanes at home. But after that, it's been tragic. Absolutely tragic. And I do think Fitz, as many have pointed out, it was no secret the bottom 6 has been struggling, can't find the net. And on a night like tonight where the top guns get shut down, that's a wrap, baby, because the bottom 6 isn't going to do it. So if the Jack and Timo lines aren't going to get one when your bottom 6 is non-existent in the goal scoring, it's over. Shut down the top 2 and it's a wrap. And your New Jersey Devils, that's what happened tonight. Terrible. Completely terrible. And again, shame on them. Jake Allen played his ass off tonight. He deserved so much better. So much better he deserved, riding a personal 4-game losing streak, which I'm sure, has been kind of gnawing at him, as coupled with the fact that Markstrom has been playing so well. That definitely bothers him. The guy's a competitor. He wants to play. He wants to win. He's riding a personal losing streak. He goes out there and has a gem tonight, and the boys abandon him. No offense whatsoever. I mean, what? If I'm Allen, I'm cursing these guys off. I mean, Allen's a veteran, and so is Markstrom. I would go curse these kids off. I mean, really, at some point, it's not all fun and games. And we have a very inexperienced young team. I'm curious to see how they respond to this, because, as the season's been going on, they have been getting the positive press and everyone saying how the Devils are back and blah, blah, blah. But you got to show me something. You got to show me something. I think maybe they get high on their own, press clippings or whatever you want to call it. Getting shut out 6 times in 41 games, completely unacceptable. And it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And something's got to give. And if something doesn't change soon, I expect a trade or something in the bottom 6. I don't think you're going to see any big deals done, just because, like I said, the cap space is definitely an issue. And, there's just no way to facilitate bringing in a big gun. But maybe a bottom 6 player or 2 could give the team a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit of a spark. I'm sorry to say that I am completely over Tatar. I'll always remember the good times, Tuna, from the 22-23 season, but now it's time for you to go. There's zero chance I would rather see him in the lineup over either Curtis McDermott or Nathan Legary. I'd like to see McDermott. You guys know I like the physical, rough stuff, and a lot of people hate on McDermott. It is what it is. Physicality is a big part of the game, and teams have continuing. Even tonight, people grabbing Nico after the whistle. I'm just tired of all the bullshit. Either put McDermott in there to break somebody's face or bring up Legary. He had a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, high compete level, and maybe he can provide some sort of offensive spark in the bottom 6. But I would like to see Legary back up. My man Hallinan still hasn't gotten a look for whatever reason. But it's time to start shuffling in new blood, because the 4th line, in my opinion, is is on a, they need a resuscitation. Now, I will say the third line, despite not scoring, Paul Cotter, Mercer, and Hall have had some good shifts, and they've had some good ozone time and cycles and things. I don't know if it was by design or if it was just the way the line changes went, but in the game last night, the Siegenthaler goal came directly off of a beautiful forecheck effort by, it was Lazar, Cotter, and Mercer. I do like them. I think it's only a matter of time. I think Mercer had a couple chances today. I think eventually they will get something going, but the fourth line, in my opinion, has shown absolutely nothing. It is time to rotate in new blood, see what we could get, and I do think eventually that third line will come around. I like Cotter. Hall is a feisty one as well. Mercer, I think, brings a little bit of everything, and like I said, they've pinned teams in their own end. They're good on the forecheck. They'll throw hits. I do like the makeup of that line, and I think it's only a matter of time before they get some production. But the fourth line, I don't think anyone has seen anything remotely encouraging to believe, that there's any reason to keep that unit intact and not look for help elsewhere. I think it's clearly obvious at this point, painfully obvious, that it's time to shake it up because it's not getting done. And to continue on, with this lineup is the definition of insanity, in my opinion. We have a great long sample space now where enough is enough, man. I mean, something's got to give. Keefe seemed a little too happy, in my opinion, after the loss, talking about how the team played good. I mean, they lost the game and got shut out. So I'm not trying to hear how they played good. They had chances, but chances mean dick. You need goals on the scoreboard. I don't care how many chances we had. It's pretty frustrating, but it is what it is. Let's see what you guys are talking about, but I'm just super pissed off. And again, the officiating, completely garbage. Seth, I said this. I know I don't like Allen, but this is not on him. Absolutely not on Allen. What was the guy supposed to do? Pitch a shutout, and then we were hopefully going to win in overtime or the shootout? To blame a goalie when we get shut out, I think, is ridiculous. And anyone who's blaming Allen, we could have been out of this game, very early on, much like we could have been last night against the Ducks, if not for Markstrom. What's going on, Craig? They have to score in order to form the game to be theirs for the taking. Yeah, again, play with the lead instead of from behind. We've obviously surrendered the first goal way more times than we scored the first goal. And especially good teams, they can then kind of dictate the way the game plays out and play their game while nursing a lead. If the Devils could get on the scoreboard first, it's a whole different world. And a lot of teams will force themselves to get a little more loose with their play in an attempt to generate offense. And that's when our boys catch them and pop them for another one going the other way. But when we're constantly down and chasing, not a good spot to be in. Not a good spot to be in at all. Alex, Rob, did you see Nason's response to the goaltender interference after the game? Yeah. He was super pissed about it, and he basically said, I don't know what's an interference anymore. I think it's nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm over trying to figure it out. I'm just getting mad thinking about it. Like, he was fired up. Absolutely fired up. Just a comment, couldn't score a goal. Yep, that's obvious. John, NJDevils45. Our bottom six numbers are brutal right now. Got to figure this out. And I think, it starts with shaking up that fourth line. Shaking up the fourth line because they've done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Craig, they need to put more than one in the net. Shit happens. Control your game. It would be nice to have a goal. Getting shut out 6 times in the first 41 games is a stat I would have never seen coming in a million years. In fact, if that was a betting option for over-under Devils shutouts on how many times the Devils be shut out on the season, I would have taken the under on 6. And that's for the full season. Here we are halfway through, and it's happened 6 times. Retlaw APA, now the downward spiral begins. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think it's going to be a downward spiral. We're only halfway through the season, and overall, the team has played great. It's just a little bit of these inconsistencies and how they've looked coming out of that cursed holiday break. Again, peaks and valleys throughout an 82-game season. This happens to every good team at some point. And hopefully it's just a little, blip on the radar and they recover sooner than later because, with each passing game now, it becomes more and more crucial to win. I thought it was very crucial they win tonight. Everyone was saying we can't lose 3 in a row, right? Now they've lost 3 in a row. Oh, my God. going to San Jose. You absolutely can't lose 4 in a row. And maybe that pressure gets to him. Maybe it doesn't. Hopefully, Markey stands on his head, pitches a shutout, and we could find a way to get maybe one goal on 4 power play tries and win the game 1-0. Maybe that'll work out for us. Devin G, red light ace incoming soon. Maybe. Jeter, Toker, top 2 lines are gassed from having to carry this team. We've been a 2-line team for a few weeks here, and when they get shut down, unfortunately, it seems as though that's a wrap on the evening. You shut down the top 2, the bottom 2 lines aren't going to do anything. It would be nice to see them get something. Keeping up with the Devils, I'm sorry, Allen may be playing good, but he's not the answer. Well, he's far from the problem. He might not be the answer, but he's nowhere near the issue. Keeping up with the Devils, any kind of ill will towards Allen, he's the least of our problems at the moment. I don't blame anything on Allen. I'm not worried about playoff time because of Markstrom. Louis, what's going on? Shitty game. Top 6 basically have to score every goal. Fitz has to go out and help the bottom 6. Yeah, agreed. But you can't think one bottom 6 guy is all of a sudden going to transform the team. Like I said, I do think the 4th line, maybe even Bastion needs to come back out of the lineup for a little bit. Plug in, Legary and somebody else and see if you can get something going. I don't have all the answers here, guys. I'm just an angry fan with a YouTube channel, but I think that 4th line needs to be shuffled and you need to figure something out because it's been doing nothing. And I do think eventually the 3rd line will produce. I do think it's just a matter of time. But even when they're not producing, you do see great shifts where they pin the other team in. They get in on the forecheck. They hit guys. I do like that 3rd line. I really do. I'm not worried about them, but I am worried about the 4th. Let's see. Let's take a look at the hits for today. Nathan Bastian, 4 hits. Timo Meier, 2 hits. Lazar, 2 hits. Paulie Cotter with 8 hits. That might be a single season high for your New Jersey Devils on the season. 8 hits. Paulie Cotter, you animal. 8 hits out of the team's 23. More than 33%. Brendan Dillon with 2. No one else to speak of. Yeah. Wow. Gem card collecting in the big picture. These losses mean nothing. Just get to the playoffs. Andy MC, bottom 6 with 9 total points since Thanksgiving. Brutal. Wow, that's wild. Traveling Devil, listen to Nathan's interview from tonight. I did see it. He was furious. This stream going to be taken down. I'm not sure why that is. What's going on, Luke? Fitz needs to get on the phone regarding the bottom 6. Yeah, but there's bigger problems than that, man. I mean, listen, I want to see the 4th line. I like the 3rd line. I'll keep saying that. I do like the 3rd line. So, if we get a middle 6 guy, maybe, you slightly tinker with the 3rd line. But in the end, I do believe it mostly falls on the 4th line, more so than the bottom 6. And we'll see. I'm sure Fitz is constantly poking around to see what's going on. But in the end, everyone wants to blame the bottom 6, but what about the top 6? They've gone ice cold as well. So, they have to bear some of the blame in addition to the bottom 6. They definitely have some blood on their hands. Stanley 62495, not making excuses, but today's game is a prime example why NHL will forever remain a niche product. The stupidity of the scheduling is seriously next level. How about the stupidity of the officiating, Stanley? I mean, my God. Completely insane. We've been screwed with the, coming out of the global series. We've had I think 4 games in 6 nights. We may have even had 5 games in 7 nights at one point. Total murder grind schedule early on and back-to-backs with less than a day. Yeah, Jeter took her 19 hours of rest. Terrible. Insane Pollock, blame concerts and Disney on ice. NHL has to work around it, but the schedule is still stupid. Yeah, very busy arena the Devils playing. The Prudential Center is a very, very busy arena. Maybe the owners should look into buying the old arena and making it strictly hockey. Imagine, and they have that whole Xanadu thing over there. Maybe they could buy that too. That abomination of taxpayer money, that Xanadu dead mall nonsense that was under construction forever, and then it was paused. Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment should buy that whole friggin' thing, put the Devils in there, And you could put even more concerts and shows at Prudential Center and leave the Devils out there in the Meadowlands. It'd be beautiful. G. Piercy, we need to get a sniper on the circle on the power play for one tease. This skating around and around is not going to cut it. Yeah, I mean, wow, Palat had that chance too in the it was either the first or second period. They had chances, man. They really had chances, but it did seem like they lost a lot of their mojo, and that Timo goal came off the board. Really unfortunate. Severely unfortunate. Seth, Brady needs to be here. I love that, but it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. John Fay, we still have 42 games remaining, enough time to hopefully turn our power play around along with our third and fourth lines. Okay. Husky Unchained, -3 for both Hughes bros. Traveling Devil. Devil's power play not long ago was the only reason they were winning. No, it's true. But then when that gets shut down, you saw what you saw tonight. 0 for 6. I mean, wow. Keeping up with the Devils. Does anyone know if we still have the rights to McLeod if he's innocent? I'm pretty sure they waived him or whatever, but in the end, I promise you, if he's innocent or not, Michael McLeod will definitely never play for the New Jersey Devils again. And I am 98% certain he will never play in the NHL again. John Fay, 0 for 6 in the power play is unacceptable. That should be with any team. I mean, yeah, even a team with a bad power play, right? 0 for 6 is unacceptable. You're right. And when you have a very good power play, or at least a power play that was very good at one time, with the forwards we have, 0 for 6 is like, detention stuff. Like, you go to detention. I don't know. It's completely psychotic. What's going on, Amagi? Allen deserves so much better. One of the most infuriating things to watch. Last night, there's a bunch of post hits, but today our offense just couldn't do it, and bottom six was invisible again. Can't say you're wrong. Cannot say you're wrong. And Allen is owed an apology by that entire squad. He played his ass off, kept them in the game, and they truthfully could have been out of it early as well, just like last night. The goaltending has been solid for your New Jersey Devils. Goaltending, not the issue here. Lack of goal scoring absolutely is. Traveling Devil, I want to know how Keefe says there are a lot of good in this game. I guess because they generated a lot of chances but couldn't bury him. I mean, I don't know. I thought he was going to be a little fired up. In the end, when you get shut out, I mean, you could say whatever you want, but it's just a continuous story at this point. Just the same thing over and over and over again. Devin G, you can see the Kings knew exactly how to handle us when we were coming into their zone. They had people on ours all night. Yeah, I mean, we only played them a few weeks ago, so I'm sure they watched a lot of tape for some of the tendencies from our top guys and, figuring out how to play them. Cristiano, they pass up a lot of shots to try and make cute plays that at the moment aren't working. John Ginkley, LA trapped us with the lead clock, neutral zone and shooting lanes there, good defensively, and heavier, edgier, more violent has been abandoned. Yeah, I wish the guys would just start smashing people. It's just so interesting how, like I said, it seems like a switch that goes on and off. It's like for portions of games, you'll see them just go out there and crush people, and then it's like they become pacifists again. Like, oh, we're not gonna check guys tonight. But shout out to Paulie Cotter with 8 hits tonight. What a beast. James Valenti, Keefe needs to make the boys just skate laps until midnight tonight for their poor performance. Also, would someone have balls to make a statement against the poor reffing? I was hoping he was just going to let it fly and take the fine. That one was that was a terrible, terrible waved off goal. And I just don't, I'm shocked that they even challenged it, because to me, even if you think as a Kings, staffer or whatever, even if you think it was goaltending interference, when you see the video, you're like, what are the odds they're going to overturn that? It was so mild. And then to risk it, to put yourself potentially shorthanded. I don't know. It almost seems like they knew the outcome of the challenge before they challenged it. Game Escape. Anytime there's a questionable call or a video review, the decision goes against the Devils. You could bet on it every time. It certainly seems like that. Tons of goals come off the board for the Devils. And we also had, I'm going to make a compilation video maybe of goals that were challenged and waved off, or, the intent to blow the play dead goals that were disallowed. We'd have a whole highlight reel already halfway through the season. Woodson's been right all along. Damn. Ollie Pitt. I was so excited to go to the Devils Ducks game from their something pre-break. Tragic for my one Devils game I can see each year. At least you saw a goal, Ollie Pitt. You could be someone in LA who gets to see the Devils once a year in LA, and you could have seen a shutout. Or sorry, you would have got excited temporarily for a Timo Meier goal, and then been stabbed in the heart when they waved it off. Terrible. SST says Woodson is my student. Luke Perry, Dowling better than Lazar. I don't know about that. Brader had his chances if he scores a different game. Oh, man, he had that 2-on-1 with Dougie. I am surprised Dougie tried to go back with him. They had a 2-on-1. Brader gets it to Dougie, and instead of just ripping it, Dougie gets fancy and tries to pass it back. Not the worst pass, but not the best. And it hit Brader in the skates, I think, and he wasn't able to get a shot off. I mean, that's a different game if he buries that too. Husky Unchained, we're not violent enough. Yeah, I've said it after the last game. It just seems like we're getting mauled after a lot of these dead plays where someone might be close to the goalie and jamming, and then like their guys just start piling on. Like, I'm just tired of the hug fest, and I just want to see straight shots now. I'm just tired of it. It seems like every game Nico's involved in one of these. Someone's got to break somebody's face. Max, can anyone tell me what goaltender interference is? I don't think so. I think I have the answer. Whatever affects the New Jersey Devils negatively. Ding, ding, ding. Painful. Ryan, all these games in hand other teams have are going to haunt us real soon. Tampa has 7 games in hand. Even the Sens will be breathing down our necks once they've caught up in games. Yes and no. Again, I always look at points percentage. Right now in the Metropolitan Division, Caps are at 703 points percentage. The Devils and Canes are now tied at 622. And then you have 3 teams at 500. The Penguins, Jackets, Flyers, and then the Islanders and Rangers, both sub 500. But yeah, 3-game losing streak hurts. I mean, they were, I think, second in the conference a couple days ago, and Florida and Toronto have passed them. Not that this really means anything halfway through the season, but it just goes to show, how good the East is and how even a few game losing streak could shift you in the standings. London, I'm becoming an alcoholic after tonight. Evan says, make a trade, Fitzy. Max, ice looked very bouncy today. I don't know if it was bouncy or if they had an event there and the ice was bad, but it seemed like the Devils wiped out a million times. Like, it just seemed like guys were just spilling all over the place. Yeah, Devin G, very shit ice. Jonathan the Zombie says, I prefer Bastion's game over Halla. I feel like Halla is a waste of space. Devin G, Ace, would you put Brat down on the third line now, like what was teased a few weeks ago? I wouldn't be against trying it. I don't know. It's a tough scenario to be in. And I said it when we first saw it. It's like, could that be better for the overall balance of the team? Maybe, but it really does screw over Brat personally, in my opinion. If you said to Bratter, would you rather play with Jack or play on this? It's not even a true third line, because if he's on the line, it's going to play way more than a normal third line would. And I'm sure he'd probably slot in maybe in other spots throughout the game. It wouldn't just be playing exclusively with those guys. I mean, it's worth trying, but in the end, I think to split up guys like Jack and Jesper, who work so well together, have been pretty dominant for stretches, and are 2 of your franchise players, I think it's almost an unfair way to solve the team's problems. And I think that, it would be more proper or appropriate to go out and find a guy and make a trade, as opposed to making Bratt go down and play with a new line to try to, spark the bottom six because they're not performing. Like, I don't know. It's, it may be worth trying for a game or something. I'm not opposed to it, but long term, I do think Jack and Bratt have to play together. And I think that you're going to have to fix the bottom six with a mixture of guys in Utica and maybe, trades. I mean, what are you going to do? Jeep, I think our third line will start popping. The rest of the team does. And I think that starts with the fourth line. Sheesh. I don't know. London Easer, bring back the shot necklace. Oh, boy. The shot necklace is going to see a lot of action later tonight, probably. Max, 137 people in here, only 23 likes. Damn, I can't see that in my little program, but that hurts. Let's go, boys and girls. Yo, hit the thumbs up for your boy. I'm out here, just commiserating. What a painful New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Ryan Johnson Allen played out of his mind tonight. I agree with you there. Wasted Youth Comics and Action Figures. Trade for Taylor Hall to solve the third line. Oof. I didn't want to do it. I don't know. I guess I'm coming back around on it. I do think his best days are behind him by far. Obviously, he had a very kind of tumultuous situation with the Devils that led to him being dealt. But I have to believe that he has a little bit higher of an upside than some of the other guys in our bottom six right now. With retention, again, he makes a good amount of money still, I believe. With retention, if we were getting him for nothing, I think I'm more receptive to trying it now than I was last week, if I'm being honest. I initially said hell no, but now I'm like, it can't hurt. And I guess that's desperation setting in. Vic, great game by Jake the Snake. Tough break on the no goal. I had the Kings broadcast on TV, and during the intermission, they even said it could have gone either way. I can't even accept that. Gone either way. That to me was clearly it should have been a goal. Max, I want to see Legary and Hallinan. I would love to see the two of them. Emily, very proud of how Allen played tonight. It was really Kings defense, as I said, and we were just a little weak after the break. Mark, 6 shutout of the season, which leads the NHL. Pathetic. I agree. Getting shut out 6 times at the halfway point really is nuts. Really is truly nutso stuff. Danza. Wait, give me 1 second here. We can talk about the bottom 6, but the offense as of recent has looked incredibly shaky, and the power play is just horrendous. Correct and correct. Kyle, need Brady and NJ. It's not going to happen, man. Ottawa's just they're in the mix. Devin G, anyone know when the season evens out the rest of the league? We got to have spaced out games eventually. It might be a while. I'm wondering the same thing. Like, when are we going to have remotely the same amount of games played? I mean, when you look at the division, we still played 4 more than the Caps, 4 more than the Canes, 2 more than the Pens, and then 3 more than the Jackets, 3 more than the Flyers, 3 more than the Islanders, and 5 more than the Rangers. Like, how do you have a team right now at this juncture that's played 36 games and a team that's played 41? It's completely nuts. Raymond, with the bad luck that would come from the Jets and Giants, I think they tainted the ground. Leave Newark and go back to the Meadowlands, man. It'd be great. Traveling Timo could be that sniper in the circle, but for some reason the Devils never set up there. He had a nice goal. I forget what game it was, like last week when he was in that circle and just ripped one. Mick Hottie, Kings fan, shocked they called that goal back, to be honest. Well, you're not the only one, Mick. I think everyone in here is shocked as well. Vince, we've been giving up way too many odd man rushes the last few games. D getting caught deep in the ozone, pressing too much for offensive chances. Yeah, a lot of odd man rushes tonight, and it's been getting sloppy. It's been getting sloppy. G. Pearson, we need to sign someone like Happy Gilmore. Smash the like button. Smash it. Go ahead. Smash. Raymond. Ace, we were at both Anaheim and Los Angeles games. Different level of heartbreak. Oh, man. Raymond, you should be awarded a Purple Heart after those two. My God. You were at Anaheim and Los Angeles. Oof. So you saw a fake out comeback. You saw a fake out comeback, and then you saw a fake out tie game. Terrible. If Devils give out straight shots, they'll get assault charges while the other team gets 5 minutes for fighting. I want to see a response. Kevin G, welcome the Devils to their new reality. Lighter, sleepier, and more peaceful. I've seen some more violent Pee-wee teams. Aroborus, if they don't start smashing faces, it's not going to be fun in the playoffs. This must change if we want to even compete for the cup. Brendan, important things to focus on. Flip around the bottom six and give some Utica players some looks to generate offense on line 3 and physicality on line 4. Another thing to look at is that the refs hate us. Oh, the refs definitely hate us. For anyone to even try to say now that it's, a Devils fan conspiracy theory, I think would be ludicrous. The overwhelming evidence speaks for itself. Forrest, every hockey season has peaks and valleys. I'd rather Devils hit some valleys now than in March, April. I'm not worried yet. I kind of agree with you as well. I'm not freaking out, but at some point now you have to say, these patterns are becoming troubling. And if they continue for any sort of time going forward, it's time to try to make the appropriate adjustments. However, that is determined to be handled. Vince, at least we're not the train wreck that is the Rangers. Still waiting for Hallinan. G. Piercy, where's the 40-goal scorer Timo been at? Well, he scored a goal tonight that got waved off. Frustration is what's happening. Some reality. Thing is, people complaining now actually have an argument. You and your minions started from the first puck drop of the season and were wrong about a lot. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, I agree with you, Traveling Devil. Some of us here who should not be named were negative from the summer to the first puck drop, to the second puck drop, to the third puck drop. Some of us like to form our opinions after actually watching the games and seeing a body of work from the team. Very big difference in my opinion. John Fay, I say we give some of our AHL guys a chance to prove themselves that they are NHL ready. Yep, we've been talking about that. I liked Legary when he was up. I think Hallinan maybe even give Foote another shot. We'll see. Ritter Engine says Dougie is cooked, been cooked. I don't know if he's cooked. He's definitely not his former self. And whether that's just a byproduct of aging or has something to do with the injury that he sustained last season. I mean, we have no way to know definitively, but he's definitely not quite the guy from last year and the year before. Stanley, the Devils have their warts, but they've also been slumping a bit right now. It happens. The officiating BS isn't helping matters. The Devils have been getting the shit under the stick lately. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Traveling Devil, you've been right about some and wrong about a lot. Max, Holtz and Zaka under Keefe would be interesting. Maggie says Holtz can stay far away. I'm with you there. I was rooting for him, but it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to pan out. John Fay, we don't want Holtz, but I wouldn't mind seeing Zaka back on the Devils, which may never happen. It's not going to happen, but yeah, obviously having Zaka on this team right now would be amazing. Obviously. Ritter Engine chemistry is lacking. I fear these guys got too complacent. It's possible. Yeah, like I said, maybe they got high off their own, press clippings. SST, what was I wrong about? For starters, anything and everything pertaining to Jacob Markstrom. Cape Dweller, Kings TV crew thought the interference was obvious. I guess every TV crew is just super homers, but it is funny, even as much of a homer as Dano and Sal are, I was kind of shocked when they were watching the replay. Dano was like, oh, I don't know. This one could go either way. Maybe he was trying to be diplomatic. I'm not sure. But I'm watching the replay, and I'm like, what the hell are you on, Dano? This is clearly a goal. Like, on what planet are you remotely entertaining this as a legitimate goaltender interference to wave off a goal? I couldn't, but he's standing just in the, he's just got a couple inches into the blue, and there is contact. A King kind of bumps him, and he hits him a little bit. He comes back out. Didn't affect the play. Had time to reset, and they waved the goal off. Completely ridiculous. Oh, Max is saying not until March to catch up with this, for the games played. Jack, a bust for starters. Markstrom sucks. Jeep, Dylan should go after Dylan Cousins. John, I have a feeling Frank Vetrano is on his way to us for the top 6 at the trade deadline, or maybe sooner. I don't think so. Let's see. I think he makes too much. So he makes 3.65. It could be possible, depending on what the package is. That'd be interesting, John. I'm curious why you're convinced that that's going to happen, but that is an interesting one. Stanley, the Devils aren't perfect, but they're also in a bit of a slump. It was inevitable that they'd cool off a bit. I would just like to see some competent officiating. The Devils are getting hosed lately. You want to see you want to see competent officiating. Wow, how's that for a tongue twister? I think you're asking for a lot, Stanley. Competent officiating? I don't know if we're going to get that in this league. Anyone else missing those Seamus shots? Seamus Casey, the young sniper. He'll eventually be here, I believe. Ritter engine. Dougie needs to go ASAP, even if it means retaining some of his salary. I mean, that would be an interesting turn of events. I would say if there's if I had to pick what would be the most likely bombshell, I'll call it a bombshell type of trade, I think it would have to be involving Dougie. And now I'm not saying I think it's going to happen, but I think it's the most likely. My man, Collect Records. Thank you, sir. The monster super chat. Unlike the refs, I'm trying to be a better version of myself in 2025. So following the greatness of Traveling Devil and others, let's give away another Dylan photo as a post-loss mood booster. Oh, man, you guys are funny. Thank you very much. Collect Records, very much appreciated. And it looks like we are giving away another Dylan fight photo. Give me 1 second here. I never have shit ready for this when you guys randomly do this. So give me 1 second here and let me give me 1 second. Let me pull something up here. All right, bear with me 1 second. We're going to do another one of these. Another Dylan fight photo will be going out to a lucky winner. Let me just dig something out here. I'm just trying to see which one. Bear with me 1 second here. All right. All right, now I guess I have to ask Collect Records. Do you want to do the number again? Hold on, now I gotta hold on 1 second. Collect Records. Do you want me to do the number or do you want to do it a different way? Collect Records. I'm going to let you pick. Do I just do a trivia and it's the first person who answers gets it, or do you want to do a number? Who is this idiot Carson in here with nothing better to do than troll a Devil's chat? Oh boy. The number thing takes a while. But The only reason why I like about it is the fairest way, but it takes a while, and then people start bitching and stuff. All right, I guess we're gonna do a number. Pick a number between 1 and let me see. There's 101 people in here. All right, so I'm not gonna look at anything. All right, timeout. So now this is interesting. So I'm not gonna do. A lot of people got upset because last time multiple people got it, and I said, and I think Zach got it, and I think he actually was the first to answer, and then he was kind of pissed, but then he ended up getting the trivia, so he ended up winning it anyway. So I guess going forward, speed will matter. Wait, so I'm not counting any numbers yet, guys. No numbers are going to count as of yet. I'm ignoring all the numbers that are guessed. Let me finish talking, and then you can guess the numbers. I haven't even wrote the number yet. Don't guess. But it's going to be 1 to 110. It hasn't started yet because I'm going to ignore all the numbers that were already guessed. Carson, you're a moron. And I'm writing the number now. I got to think of a good one. 1 to 110. And it's going to be the first person who gets it. So if multiple people get it after the fact, I'm so sorry. We're just going to have to give it to the first person. 1 to 110. I'm trying to think of a good one here. 1 to 110. All right, guys. I've written the number and start guessing. As of now, first person to guess it, courtesy of Collect Records, the number's on the pad. First person to get it will be receiving. I have another one of these, so it's the same foot, not the exact same one, but the same shot that Zach got. Brendan Dillon with the heavier, edgier, more violent inscription. To the first person who guesses the number on the pad. Oh, shit. You guys started blowing it up. All right. Oh, wow. All right, the guessing has started. And now I'm just scrolling. We have a winner. We have a winner, guys. And the number on the pad, 44. And that makes For Devil the winner of today's contest, courtesy of Collect Records. For Devil, you are the winner. You will be receiving the Brendan Dillon Tuck fight photo. Let me get you a different one. Wow. Another exciting guess streak here. Oh my God, I'm like scrolling for days. For Devil, you're the winner, man. Email me. And thank you very much to Collect Records for the prize donation via Super Chat. Yo home, Stefan Richer, number 44. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amagi, damn, I was one off. For Devil, you win. You have won. Would 3 of us pick 76 in a row. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. Oh, wait. Kyle says he had it first. Oh, no. See, this is why. Kyle said he had it first. I didn't see that, though. Kyle, you wrote 45, man. And then Kyle wrote 72. And 29. He says Kyle's BSing. He said I could vouch for Kyle, but Kyle also put like 20 numbers. So unless I say guess again, you can't just guess 50 times. Max says I have 4 Devil winning first. Looking at chat, 4 Devil. It does. Oh boy. Kyle, you guessed like 50 times, bro. Your first guess was not 44, and everyone's still saying the other guy got it before you anyway, but you guessed 30 times. It was 4 Devil. Triple Sweat. This is the year I promise we're bringing home that cup to Hughes and Brader. Let's go Devils. Kyle is trolling like Carson. Triple Sweat. This is our year. I promise to bring home that cup to Hughes and Brader. Let's go Devils. I mean, that'd be nice. How about we just, win a game first and get out of this losing streak. BC, as far as trades, how about moving Bastion? I wouldn't be against it, but I just don't know, what type of return do you think we're going to get for Bastion? Unfortunately, I don't think it'd be a lot. SST, I'll get another picture if someone says, what's my favorite Devils moment? G. Pearson, we all need to take a few days to do a big super Scion yell some back Saturday and kick the shit out of Gorgiev. Carson, Cup won't be in Carolina, but Cup won't be in NJ either. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I love how this derails the stream for 10 minutes. Max, Carson, the tropical storms aren't a team we're concerned about. Take your silly comments, X. Man, oh man. And now we have to wait. I hate having to wait after losses, even a regular loss. Having to wait after a 3-game losing streak is even more painful. Yeah, 2 days off. We don't play again till. Yeah, it sucks. That really sucks. And hopefully it pisses the boys off having to sit on being on a 3-game losing streak until Saturday. Yeah, I mean, wow. What a unfortunate situation we're in. Multiple days off, riding a 3-game losing streak. This sucks, Ace. We need to start winning again. I agree. Brandon, what happened to our defense is looking like last year. I don't know if it's that bad, but I want to know, where's the defense we saw for the couple weeks before the holiday break that allowed opponents to 20 shots on goal or less for 7 straight games? The NHL record-setting defense. Where are those guys? Paging the NHL record-setting defense that the Devils had a couple weeks ago. Where are you boys at? Where are you at? Traveling Devil, there has to be something on the web that takes all the names in a chat and randomly picks a winner. Well, if somebody has such a solution, please forward it on over. I'm not opposed. We need that practice. Mark, with the explosive offense we have, it's almost shocking that we can't score a damn goal. I agree. Like I said, we obviously have tons of studs on offense, and if there was a betting line for the entire season and the over-under for Devils to be shut out on the season was 6, I would have bet on the under for the whole season. To be shut out 6 times in the first half is psychotic, and it is mind-blowing. Actually, the wait is not bad. The travel to SJ is easy. They get a good hard practice in. Yeah, but I hate waiting multiple nights for us to get back out there. I'm just going to be stewing over this until then. Max, we exposed the Canes scoring 8 goals and them in the game we won. You got your butts handed to you in the Eastern Conference Final. Retlaw, peace out, my dude. See you later. Brendan, yo, what a... I just want to say how grateful I am for you and the rationals in this chat because I'm not rational. I love you guys. We got you, Brendan. Step away from the ledge. Back away from the ledge. It will be okay. The New Jersey Devils are a good team, but we do have a little bit of a slump going on here. Brandon Thomas, for some reason, this team just randomly plays the worst defense in the league for a bit. You might have something there. Jay Snow, I told you Hall is a waste. It's not hating Ace. He's a waste out there. Depth scoring is a real concern. We're on pace to get shut out 12 times. That's insane. It is insane, Jay Snow, but you're going to single-handedly pin it on Eric Halla? I mean, getting shut out 12 times, I would be more mad at the top guys than the bottom 6 for getting shut out 12 times. That is way more of an indictment on guys like Hughes, Bratt, Nico, Timo, etc. In my opinion, way more of an indictment on them. Pro Bowl forever. We still have more games to play, and hopefully the issues will be fixed along the way. That's the hope. Shit, they better figure it out. Yo, Holmes, paging the defense. You have a telephone call at the front desk. Yeah, really, like where it is. Where is that defense? John Fay, we are an amazing team. We just have bad games 50% of the time. Alex, we must beat the Sharks. It'll be embarrassing if we don't, even if we didn't have 3 losses before. I agree, and hopefully the team is not feeling that pressure. Because to lose to another, less than team is obviously not good. And especially now with the 3-game losing streak. It really makes the game that much more important. And now to start off the road trip 0-2, I mean, wow. It's not good. It's not good at all. And I guess really, I mean, I'm looking at the West Coast road trip, but really, if you're counting the Hurricanes portion, it'd be a 3-game road trip. Either way, 3 losses in a row is absolutely tragic, and it's terrible. G. Piercy, seems to me like we changed our game to a more crash the net type, but we don't have the skaters for that. Maybe not, as our primary kind of way of scoring, but I do think we have guys that can score in that fashion. I just don't know what the hell happened to the finishing ability, and also combined with, again, the defense, where we're just giving up lots of quality scoring chances when we were clamping down on teams just a couple weeks ago, barely giving anything, setting an NHL record of 7 straight games allowing 20 shots on goal or less. That's a pretty impressive record, in my opinion. A very impressive record, actually. In the history of the NHL, no team has done that before. And again, there's been some insane defenses in the history of the NHL, and none of them have been able to do what this New Jersey Devils defense did. It's kind of wild. It's definitely wild to think about. For Devil, by the way, I love Nason's interview, but the team does need to move past the ref calls. Seems to murder their momentum. I think it's just human nature. It's hard to, especially when you're on a 2-game losing streak, you're down in the game, and it's like, finally we tie it, and then they just pull the pin out. Nope, sorry. Goaltender interference. We're screwing you again. Max, we overperformed with that 13-game win streak. Traveling Devil SST goes to crystal ball readers. Brandon, as much as I hated the defense tonight, doesn't help when we can't score either. No, absolutely. In the end, even if we gave up 30 goals, if we did not score a single goal, there's nothing else to say other than, first and foremost, your offense failed you. And that's what happened here tonight. John Fay, if we lose to the Sharks and there's something wrong with either the offense or the defense, if we lose to the Sharks, I'm going to say there's something wrong with both. But again, the Sharks have good guys too. And we already lost to them once. We were Mackenzie Blackwooded. We got Blackwooded, but thankfully he's in Colorado now, and we can't get Blackwooded tomorrow. Jason, no, the offense was bad last night too. They wouldn't chip pucks in and refused to cycle pucks. Brandon, I think sometimes in a pinch situation in the opponent's end, when we got their goalie scrambling, we shoot the puck way too quick instead of holding on to it and finishing it. I don't know why you guys are even fighting with this guy, Carson. He has clearly no life. On New Year's Day, he's in a opposing team's, in an opposing team's live, just trolling. It's a sad existence, but you guys are biting, so he's getting what he's looking for. Mark. So bad losses against San Jose, Columbus, and Anaheim. A lost to San Jose would be totally unacceptable. Why can't we get up for these bad teams? It's just something that's continued on from last year. It was a problem last year when we lost to bottom dwellers as well. Last year, it ultimately cost us a playoff spot. I hope this year, if this continues, at worst, it just costs us, playoff positioning versus a playoff spot. I can't see in any, and I've said this from probably 2 months ago, I just personally cannot see any world where this Devils team doesn't make the playoffs. Now, honestly, anything's possible, but they're just too good to miss the playoffs. And so I think at worst case, these types of losses would just cost us a seeding, if you will, or home ice in a specific round. G. Piercy, do you think people are playing hurt? Because after the break, it seems we have gotten a bit slower. I've talked about hockey guys being warriors and playing hurt going back into last season. There's definitely guys playing hurt now. That's just part of the game. I don't know if there's any guys playing severely hurt, but on any given night, there's probably half the lineup that's dealing with some sort of little nagging injury of some kind or another. I mean, if you watch hockey, you see these guys getting smashed into the boards, taking sticks to the face, taking pucks to the face, blocking shots. And so it's a very physically demanding sport. And over the course of the season, these guys develop all kinds of little injuries that they play through because they're warriors. Yeah, SST, you're still here? I thought you went to get your shine box. Oh, shit. Yo, Holmes, you make me laugh, man. That's funny. Brandon, I don't think our third and fourth line are good enough to make a deep playoff run. Hopefully they start turning it around now. Jason, the Devils had a horrible December 2 years in a row. Let's hope we don't go through another bad month. And this December was good. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, losing 3 games in a row is crazy. And that Sharks game is massive. What time is that one at? That's a 4 o'clock Eastern. These games are weird. 4 o'clock Eastern, yeah. Wow, it's a big one. It is a big one that we need to win. Max, we made Tokarski look like a Vezina finalist the other night. Mark, at one point this season, we were the best road team in the league. Now we're starting to level that off. Yeah, I mean, a three-game slide will do that to you. John, Tanev as a Devil would be interesting, but I don't think Seattle will give him up anytime soon. Jay Snow, I'd rather 3 AHL guys on the fourth line. Well, I think I think Laser's perfectly fine for the fourth line, but maybe give AHL guys shots on the wing. Traveling, I'm actually not worried about the slump. It's going to happen. They just need to get their mojo back. BM says another shutout. Keeping up with the Devils. Tokarski, the Team Canada legend. Jay Snow says 7 high dangers. Oh, wait, I took a picture of that. The Devils had so a couple of stats they showed at the end. At even strength, Devils had the puck. It says puck in Ozo time. Devils with 1944. Kings with 1609. And then Ozone possession time. Devils 418. Kings 345. Pretty close in all of these. Slot driving plays, Devils with 22, Kings with 15. High danger scoring chances, Devils with 6, Kings with 7. And then scoring chances off the rush, Devils with 5, Kings with 7. Fairly even and fairly loose, I would say, both ways. Way more chances than I thought we would see in the game, being that the Kings are definitely a fairly defensively responsible team. I think they said they lead the league in the least amount of shots against. I think they average giving up like 24. BM says we need more top 6 scoring. I'd like to see more scoring out of the top 6. I don't know if you think we're going to get a top 6 player. I don't think we will. Don't let Timo near our goal this Sharks game. Brandon Thomas, I'm getting a bit concerned about our bottom 6. Teams will prepare good strategies against us just because of our 3rd and 4th line. If we lose to the Sharks, will you drink a quart of JD on stream? No, I will not. Traveling Devil, that's why they need to make a few moves in the next few months. I think we'll get at least one guy. London, who's your favorite player on the current roster, though? I don't think I could pick just one. My favorite players on the roster. Yeah, I can't just pick just one. But Timo, Nason, Cotter would be up there. You know, I like the heavier, edgier, more violent guys. Timo, Nason, Cotter, and I'd throw my man Brendan Dillon. I'd throw Dilly in there too. Those would be some of my favorites. Max has only had 18 to 19 hours rest. We don't win back-to-backs. It was destiny. Yeah, it is interesting because we are fairly young. You would think that the quick turnaround from game to game would affect like older teams more, but we have young legs and it still's killing us. 1 to 6 and back-to-backs. Terrible. Traveling Devil, we've all seen how they can play when every player is performing. Remember the Florida games. Non-essential had the right attitude. General Keefe was a little weak on calling out the so-called goalie interference. Yeah, I was expecting him to blast, but he's, again, trying not to get fined. I think now someone's got to take a fine if this continues. Zach, Nason, and Cotter. Brendan, San Jose is about as close to a must-win as it gets. When they came to the Rock, I purchased 2 glass M-Lounge sheets for my dad's B-Day. He has never seen an in-person win despite going to 11 games. Holy shit, dude. Over how many seasons, Brendan? That might be the most shocking stat I've ever seen. You've brought your father to 11 games at the Rock and he's never seen a win? How many years does this span? Oh my God, that is crazy. And I think it's obviously clear that you should never bring your father to a game ever again. You're costing this team wins. Amagi Kovacevic is my favorite on the roster. I like Kovacevic a lot as well. NJ Swan Fox, Nason has the right attitude in the post-game interview. The so-called interference penalty. Keefe's response was underwhelming. It was. Fitz knows this team is flawed right now. He said it during his interview. G. Piercy, seems like we don't have any fire out there. Even when we score, everyone seems like they're always depressed. Keep him out of in-person games. For Devil, totally agree. I need to see a fired-up Keefe. BM says, at Brendan plays, tell us when your dad goes to the next Devils game so I could bet heavy. Mark, only Cotter and Plod won the Stanley Cup. Even though this team plays well, we may be still too inexperienced. I don't know. I mean, we just got to get hot at the right time. And hopefully that stingy defense comes back. 20 shots on goal or less for 7 straight games is phenomenal. London, bring back Nico's mustache, please. That's pretty funny. Brandon, the 11th loss must have been depressing. SST, Allen won the cup too. Emily, Ace, I was joking when I said don't let Timo near our goal to the Sharks game because last time we played them, Timo scored in our own goal. Oh, yeah. Yep, okay. Forgot about that. Thirst for War, I just watched the Devils beat the Blues in St. Louis 2 weeks ago. Very nice. Retribution for that shutout loss that they handed us on our home ice right before Thanksgiving. Brandon plays 4 seasons, 11 games. I go all the time with my mom or friends. My dad is the real Devils fan. I feel so bad because he thinks he is cursed and it's his fault. That's why I took him to the bad team game. Well, Brendan, your dad is cursed, and it is his fault. 11 games over 4 seasons to not see a win is wild. That is one of the most baffling fan stats I've ever heard. Jay Snow, Cotter was scratched, didn't even play in the playoffs. Zach W. Personally, I love Brat. Colby says, even though the stat may not be relevant, Markstrom is 19-9 and Allen is 5-8. John Fay, I like Kovacevic and Dylan. I think they were both good additions to the team. Yeah, very good additions. And part of the revamped and improved defense that set an NHL record, allowing 7 shots on goal or less in 7. Allowing 20 shots on goal or less in 7 straight games. Where are those men? Can someone find them? We need to put out an all police bulletin. We are paging the NHL record-setting defense that we had before the holiday break. At least we aren't the Sabres. Ouch. The Sabres are in rough spot. Rough spot. Yo, Holmes. Big Max on the Kings that won the cup, but like Cotter in Vegas, he was scratched every game. And that was he. Yo, Holmes, you're thinking of the Avalanche. He was on the Avalanche and scratched when the Avs won. Jay Snow, I don't know if I'm paying Kovacevic big money. I mean, I'm paying him. Well, what do you consider big money? I'm definitely paying him. Rich Smalls, I think the boys might still be recovering from a bender on the break. I hope not. Mark, good night and happy New Year to you, sir. G. Piercy says, ban Brendan's dad. Emily, to make myself feel better about our losses, I just look at the Blackhawks standings. Kobe shouldn't be big money, but I could see around 4 to 5, which is high. Yeah, I think that I've said probably a few weeks ago, I expect him to get some sort of offers in that realm. And I think he's worth it. Did you wrap my beanie nicely with ribbons? No, not with ribbons. Rich Smalls, looks like the boys party too hard over break and are still recovering. We'll be good. Brendan, the day my father sees a win, it will shatter the earth. We have to go to MSG and curse the Rangers. I have a great record with my dad, getting 4 shutouts and 13 wins in the past 3 years over 19 games. Jason, keep saying that we should have done a trade when the Pens were horrible and moving people and didn't. We were just having scoring issues now. It had been slowing its head off and on. That was so early in the season, though. I don't think the Pens were going to panic just yet. They still got Sid and Gino. They're never out of it. Jay Snow, it's still early enough for a team to get hot. The Devils can't go on an extended slide. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more, especially tough nights were shut out. John Fay, 4 to 5, but for how many years? I would pay him, I don't know, offer him $4 million for 5 years and see if he takes it. I would love it. $50 is big money to Jay Snow. Oh, yeah, Avs. Thanks. My bad. I'm high. Yo, Holmes. Emily, the Canes fans are the worst fans in the league aside from the Rangers. Oh, boy. Marky got the 3rd star of December, keeping up with the Devils. Yeah, I forgot about that. I might do another video, but it pretty much is identical to what I had said in the Flowers for Markstrom video, except, I wonder, because that game last night was December. I really wonder if he had won that game, could that have given him the boost to either get the second or first star, and if it would have made a difference. They gave it to, I think it was it McKinnon and Draisaitl, or I don't know. Those two guys with crazy offensive numbers, which I feel like has now become fairly commonplace in the league. These guys are always putting up, bonkers numbers. Like, is it even impressive anymore? I mean, it is, but it's just not as impressive as it once was, in my opinion. London, get a buzz cut if the Devils can win 4 games in a row. I don't know about all that. Well, you guys are always this tonight. I feel like people are throwing out this weird stuff. Like, if they can't win, drink a quart of JD. Now people are calling for me to shave my head. Brendan, hot take. I think Canes fans are worse than Rags fans, and I hate the Canes more than the Rangers. The Canes are also perennial. They are never bad. Jay Snow, freaking Caps just don't lose. And just Swamp Fox, the South Carolina, I think you mean North Carolina governor's an idiot. Canes fans criticizing the refs were nuts. John Fay, speaking of the Flyers, we played them 3 times in January this year and season. Oh, that's a lot. Brendan, explain to me why the Canes Bruins are just evergreen and never bad. Good drafting, good management, good signings. Being good at pretty much everything will keep you relevant for a while. But at some point, I do think the Bruins are going to go through a rebuild. I think a lot of people thought it was going to start this year. I think they might stave it off, but at some point, I think they will go through it. Maybe they get lucky and they don't. Jason, no Caps, no extended losing streaks. 4 Devil Panthers fans get under my skin for some reason. BM, Ace, have you ever painted your face for a game like the guy from the MSG commercial? I am definitely not a face painter. I have never painted my face, nor would I, just because of the difficulties involved with, removing it, getting it on your jersey or whatever. Face painting is not for me, but I do appreciate the dedication and efforts that those that do it, what goes into it. They definitely respect it, just definitely not for me. Brandon, the NHL also don't want the Devils to win. Rich Smalls, let's hear your honest take on Prue Center versus Continental Airlines Arena. Are you talking to me? All right, guys, the bathroom break time. Bathroom break. We'll be wrapping up. Your New Jersey Devils lost. A terrible game tonight. I'm going to go take a leak. Any comments, questions, whatever else, throw it out there. I guess I'm going to come back to Rich Smalls and see if he follows that up about my honest take on Prue Center versus Continental Airlines Arena. I think I've talked about this probably several times, but I will again. Yeah. And I'll be back in 2 minutes. Closing it down. Let's see what kind of things you guys throw out there for the outro. Be right back. Oh, all right. Let's see what you guys. So my honest take on Pru Center versus Continental Airlines Arena. I mean, the conversation kind of begins and ends for me with the tailgating. Tailgating was a huge part of the old Brendan Byrne Arena / Continental Airlines Arena. As most of you know, Newark and the Prudential Center do not offer tailgating. That is a huge miss, in my opinion. That was a huge part of New Jersey Devils playoff lore and some regular season games as well, but specifically in the playoffs when it really ratcheted up. As far as Newark goes, I'm obviously not a fan of Newark. I do not think the local infrastructure and the roads were ever really meant for that many people to be converging into downtown Newark at one time. It's just 2 lanes often, 1 lane roads. I get taken on detours often by the GPS because there's just never ending traffic in New Jersey all the time. Often when going to the games, the GPS takes me on ways where if my mother was in the car, she would be clutching rosary beads and saying prayers because it's quite a frightening endeavor, if I'm being honest. And so while the building itself is nice, I mean, and, you know, I would say compared to some other arenas I went to, the Continental Airlines Arena is now, 17 years old. It's not that cutting edge anymore or new. It's a newer building, I guess. But really, they're building new arenas all the time. For me, I don't need all the fancy suites and all the BS. I'm there to watch hockey. And I do like geographically while I live closer to Prudential Center, I would much prefer to go to Continental Airlines Arena. But I can't see that ever happening again. But, man, that would be something special. If they ever return to the Meadowlands, I would be elated. G. Piercy, I would like to see Jamie Benn on this team. He's a monster. I mean, who wouldn't like to see Jamie Benn, G. Piercy? That's never going to happen, but that would be, Ben is a heavier, edgier, more violent skill guy. I love Jamie Benn. NJ Swamp Fox, face painters are a special breed or inbreed. Oh, boy. Hey, do you know Jake Ottinger? I mean, I know who he is. I don't personally know him. Obviously, a very good goalie. American boy. Jay Snow, we got to stop blaming the refs and saying goalied. I hate the goalied thing. It happens once in a while. I do think it's an overused term, but the refs have been screwing us for sure. Brendan plays. Everyone, what players do you want most? Are you talking about realistic players or just anything? Realistic players, I don't think it's going to be what people are expecting. Alex, what is the Pru Center was in the Meadowlands? I don't know what that means. NJ Swamp Fox are having the most trouble recovering from the refs and Toronto's bad calls. We're stalking your collection in the back. This is a very, very small sliver of it. Eventually, I'm going to do some more videos, but it's just everything just takes so much time. But obviously, I'm a huge Devils collector, as you can tell by the background. John Fay, here in outro. Why is the NHL and the refs screwing us over? What do we ever do to them? I don't know. Maybe it stems back to the Lou days. Maybe they just hated Lou. They hated the Devils' success. The trap, and they ruined hockey. Who knows? Hey, you might be onto something, for Devil. Toronto's mad we have Keith. Best explanation I have. London, oh my God, I just heard him fart. You definitely did not. Take the mic to the bathroom. I would never do that. Keeping up with the Devils. I don't know why I feel like we're going to start a win streak soon, like 7-8 games. I would love to see it. Would absolutely love to see it. Yo Holmes, tailgating was legendary at Continental. Yeah, I miss it all the time. Going to MetLife for the Stadium Series was just another reminder of how much more special that area was than Prudential. Jason, Keefe was too happy after the game. We just lost another straight game and shut out. Need some answers, Keefe. Not well. We had our chances. Yeah. I feel like he's just been so much beaten down. Yo, Holmes, Continental was also a much bigger arena. That's supposed to read 19,040. You missed the 0, but I know what you meant. Keefe's post-game was bizarre. John Fay, this month is going to be a roller coaster. BM, I'd love to see Scott Niedermayer on this team. Well, you got a time machine? Although needs always in good shape. One of the big jokes amongst the guys. So they did a 25-year reunion for the 19, or was it a 20-year? It was a 20-year reunion for the 1995 Cup team in 2015. and they had a game where they split the guys up from that team into red and white, and they had like a little game on the practice rink. And afterwards, all the guys were joking. They were like, "Oh, Needs could go play in the league right now. The guy's not even sweating." And obviously, Niedermeyer, that was 9 years ago, but he looked very comfortable out there, even as a retired player. The ageless wonder, Scott Niedermeyer. Jason, no, they need to start working on board battles and forechecking. Rich, the only good thing about Prue Center is that you could eat at Hobby's Deli before a game. Not anymore. They're only open on select days. It's very weird. I think post-COVID, their hours, like many other places, they're not really a regular destination before games anymore. I like to go there once in a while, and yeah, they close early. So for most games, it's not an option. For Devil agreed. Snow Keefe needs to go over how to battle on the boards. Yeah, Hobbies closes early now. It totally blows. I think a lot of businesses, for me, coming out of COVID, one of the biggest losses amongst the many other things that messed up our country as a result of COVID, inflation and housing prices and all this other shit, kids being developmentally, hurt in that way. So many businesses, being in New Jersey, I live in an area where within a 5 or 10 minute drive, there was probably 4 or 5 24-hour diners. None of them are 24 hours anymore. Diners being open 24 hours is not even a thing. Not only are they not 24 hours, a lot of them close at like 10 o'clock now. It used to be a staple of New Jersey. Now I have to probably go 15 or 20 minutes for the nearest 24-hour diner. Not that I would go all the time, but once in a while, me and one of my buddies or, a couple of my buddies would go to a diner at like midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m. or something. That's not even an option anymore. Furthermore, for the real old school heads in here that know Rutt's Hut closes at 8 o'clock now, I think. 8 o'clock for Rutt's Hut. Are you kidding me? I don't think I'd ever been to Rutt's Hut before 10 p.m. in my life leading up to COVID. Insane. Completely insane. Guess Hobbies has enough geld. I think a lot of establishments realized that when you factor in the cost of running their business for the additional hours, that in the end, they would make a similar amount of money and work less by closing early. I think COVID forced people to learn that lesson. A lot of companies or businesses were probably scared, pre-COVID to like, oh, well, if we're allowed to be open 24 hours, how are we going to possibly close at 10? But then when they were forced to, I think a lot of these businesses, food places, specifically like diners, et cetera, took a step back and they were like, wait a minute, maybe all these years we were doing it wrong. Jason, no, the diner by me is still open 24/7. Yeah, a lot of them still are, but a lot are not. SST Askarov is going to goalie Devils in Seattle. The earliest Devils can win is the Rangers game. I hope you're wrong. Marshall Coach House Hackensack still 24/7. Jason, no, used to go to diners after getting Swayze. Yeah, that was the rite of passage for me as well. High school, college, you always ended up after a good night, late night at the diner. And a lot of times I'd order breakfast and dinner type foods. Nothing like, some eggs over easy and some chicken fingers, maybe an omelet or a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese and some chicken fingers. Rich Smalls, I loved Rutt's Hut until I found out how unsanitary they are. I'm curious, what did you find out and how did you find that out? I'm very curious to know. Jason, no, but diners are such a NJ thing being open 24/7. It was. Swamp Fox, I preferred the hot grill, but the prices are now outrageous. The prices are outrageous everywhere. Me and my boy went to McDonald's. I don't know. It was a late night drive-through. A time where we would have preferred to go to a diner, but we didn't feel like driving to the diner, so we went to McDonald's. And we ordered a lot, but not a crazy amount. I want to say for the two of us, it was like $38 for McDonald's. Like, come on, man. Where are we at? $38? SST, Americans are so fat. Why? Because we like food and they poison us. They put addictive properties in all the junk food and we keep eating it. Too much junky food is correct. Rutt's Hut closes at 8. Overnight cases of acid reflux way down. They're rippers. There's nothing like their hot dog, though. The Ripper, and you get the chili on the side. My God. Yo, Holmes, TikTok Diner closes at 10. That's crazy to me. TikTok Diner was always 24/7, I thought. John Fay, if we can win 3 or 4, this road trip can possibly be saved. Yeah. SST, Yankees are too fat. Jason, no, I haven't had McDonald's in over a year. Yeah, good for you. I don't eat it too often, but it is delicious. It is so good. And poisonous, obviously. Delicious and poisonous for you. Anything else? Anyone got anything else? Amagi, I miss when I'd be up gaming until like 3 a.m. with the boys, then we just end up hitting a diner. Oh, so the diner's closed near you early too, Amagi? TikTok used to be a good 3 a.m. place. Haven't had McDonald's in easy 10 years. Wow. Jack, do you think we can go 3-0 these next 3 games? Easily the better looking half of the road trip. I think they could. But I don't know if they will. I hope they would. Jay Snow wasted 2 nights watching bad hockey. Brendan Ace, do you live in more north or south in New Jersey? North. North. I want a ripper now. Yo, Holmes, TikTok was the way to go. Post every concert at the Meadowlands. Yeah, right there. Very convenient. 4 Devil road trip is on life support. I agree. Jay Snow, the break came at the worst time for us. I agree there as well. John Face has agreed. 4 Devil, minor life support. All right, guys, that's it. That's it. It's over. I got some shit to do. Your New Jersey Devils shut out for the 6th time at the halfway mark. 3-game losing streak. Terrible. Completely terrible. And hopefully it gets better. I'll be back soon. Lots in the works. And hopefully they come out and they're pissed off and they smash the Sharks on Saturday. Completely terrible. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that like on the way out if you can. I'd appreciate that. And that's it, guys. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.